I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Albert Forkner. He is CEO at Fortress Trust, and I also have Tom Michelena. He is president at Fortress Trust. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining me today. Wonderful to have you here on the floor.
Thank you so much. Excited to be here.
Thanks, Judy.
Pleasure to have you. Now, before we get started, quick note to viewers, this interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. All right, so Tom, let's start with you. What's Fortress Trust?
So, Judy, Fortress Trust is a fully regulated, fully licensed, non-depository trust company. And we're part of a larger ecosystem that we call Fortress Blockchain Technologies. And under our umbrella, we have Fortress Wallet, which is a fully embeddable, white-labeled wallet. And we have Fortress NFT. So we're able to do your NFT minting. You combine that with Fortress Trust, and we are an innovative, full-suite solution for Web3 infrastructure.
Yeah. And the idea is this area is developing so rapidly, and we want to be positioned to be a leader in it and not a follower. So it's a heavy lift to have all of those under one umbrella, but yet we think it's worth it because really NFTs, tokenization is, I think, the next evolution of the internet, and we want to be a leader in that space.
All right, now, Albert, a lot of your team have a regulatory background. Mm-hmm. So tell me, how does that impact the way you operate your business?
Yeah, so I spent my years as a regulator, 25 years as a state banking regulator. The last 10 as the banking commissioner in Wyoming, which, if you're familiar with that, Wyoming was a leader and tried to be fostering to institutions that wanted to be in the crypto and blockchain space. And so from that, I was able to see the industry, the crypto blockchain industry, evolve rapidly. But part of that evolution requires a compliant manner. You know, the move fast, break things, ask for forgiveness, not permission mentality has shifted a lot in digital assets. And so when I came on at Fortress, I wanted to make sure that I had as much regulatory chops as possible. But I wanted to find team members that understood and know how to balance both innovation and regulation. You can't have one without the other. You either get yourself in trouble or you just freeze and don't get anywhere. and so we're building a team up. I've got some core colleagues with me that we have roughly 75 years worth of bank and digital asset regulatory experience. And I think that will position us to be a leader in this space, give us an advantage. And then another part that's very important is because we have to have some strategic tech thinking, tech forward bank partners, someone like Tom, who's a career banker, coming on and managing those and establishing those relationships is also very important for us.
Judy, Fortress has a regulatory body within that nobody else has. We are unmatched in this environment, which is why we bring experts in like Albert and some of his folks that he brought along with him. So we're very blessed to have the regulatory piece to our puzzle.
All right, so Albert, how do you see regulation moving in the digital asset Web3 space?
Mm-hmm. Well, if I knew all the answers, I'd be on K Street in Washington charging an exorbitant consulting fee. But I do think as you look back, when I first got into the space, probably 2016, 2017, there was still a lot of questions of, well, how does it even fit under current laws? So the states, the federal agencies, whether it was the SEC or the CFTC, were all trying to figure out who had what authority. We're starting to get a little more of that, the agencies understanding maybe what their role is. But I think every time you see commissioners up on the Hill, they're asking for Congress to give them some authority so then they know where they fit within that landscape. I do think, as I mentioned earlier, consumer protection is now very important. You've seen some major disruptions in the digital asset crypto space, and obviously the crypto winter gets people's attention as well. But I think that senators like Senator Lummis and Gillibrand have a very big bill out there that's a proposal. So I think as those things get more traction, as the Hill takes on the responsibilities of finding a place for this, then the regulatory agencies, whether they're in the markets or their banking agencies, will start to develop guidelines. But again, they're driven by the laws that are on the books, and they only have so much authority. Now, I will say that I do think, absent of congressional action, which may be tough to get in the near future, the agencies are looking for ways to, again, put some guardrails around but also trying to realize that balance of making sure they don't completely stifle innovation. So I hope and we fully expect to have the U.S. in a position to actually be a leader in this space, and so we want to make sure that we're positioned to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. And Judy, as you can hear, we're going about this the right way. We're putting all the pieces correctly in order because we really believe Web3 will change life going forward for everybody, like the internet did in the 90s.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's definitely very impactful there. All right. Well, wonderful to talk with you both, Tom, Albert. Thanks for
Judy.
joining me on
Great.
Floor Talk.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you so
much. A lot
much.
of fun.
Take
Thank
care.
you.